A major rebuke of the president, a symbolic rebuke, but one showing the concern within the Democratic ranks and among some Republicans over the way the president has been waging.
I don't get this. Why doesn't this matter? Well, part of it, unironically, is just that the law doesn't work anymore, so it's kind of meaningless. Like, we don't even declare war anymore. Everything's a fucking police action or special military action. But also, we're not even fighting Iran right now. Like, right now, we're desperately trying to get Israel to pull out of Lebanon so that the fucking memorandum of understanding can be negotiated through. So, like, they literally approved this too late to make a difference.
This war with Iran, the Senate joining the House in passing a resolution to limit the president's war powers with Iran. If he were to choose to escalate things with Iran, he would be, under this resolution, would have to come back to Congress to get explicit approval to do just that. And that is, of course, exactly the opposite of the way the president has waged this war, has not gotten approval from Congress, has moved ahead with it. But for the first time, we are seeing the Senate and the House speak with one voice on this issue. Just moments ago, 4 Republicans joining with 46 Democrats. Those senators included Susan Collins of Maine in a difficult re-election race, Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska,
slow it down. Good
oftentimes
Lord.
does break with the president, Senator Rand Paul, a libertarian-minded Republican, one who opposes foreign intervention for the most part. And there's also Senator Bill Cassidy, a Republican who Trump pushed out of his Senate seat by endorsing his primary challenger, has come back to the Senate and voted against the president, broken with him on some key.
It is pretty funny that of the GOP senators who voted in favor of the war powers resolution, it includes Murkowski and Collins, who are both facing challenges from respectively, not Pelosi, fucking, oh my God, what's her name in Alaska? Peltola and Plattner.
Issues, this being one of them. Republican leaders in the House have tried so hard, Abby, to try to prevent this vote from even happening.
Oh, Murkowski's not even up for real. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
And it did pass a few weeks ago.
So it's just Republicans who are either like on their way out or facing significant challenge from anti-Zionists.
Speaker of the House actually adjourned the House early when they went to recess to try to avoid a vote from even happening. They ultimately had to vote on this in the House. It did pass that chamber narrowly after a handful of Republicans joined with Democrats, and now we are seeing the Senate follow suit. So a sign here, a message to the president as he comes here to Capitol Hill tomorrow, when so many Republicans, even the ones who voted against this measure, many of them concerned about the deal that his administration is cutting with Iran and question about whether sanctions, for instance, should be eased with that country.
It doesn't matter. Trump's approval rating sinks to 30% in worst poll yet. Holy shit. That is crazy. 66% approve of Trump's job performance, just 30% approve, minus 36. I don't think it can go much lower, honestly. We're at the floor right now. It feels like, like end of George W. Bush term numbers. We're basically at the floor. That's fucking crazy, man. Like, I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but keep in mind that, like, look at this. May 2025, right? You go back 1 year. That means that since May 2025, over 1/4 of people who approved of Trump no longer approve of him. That's really, like, that's a lot. We're already dealing with a highly polarized environment. It's not like Trump won on a big bipartisan push for his second term, you know? So we're talking about an already, like, very hardened demographic of supporters getting pushed out, or not getting pushed out, I guess, like, you know, dropping out. I thought it would go up after the war. Nah, they've done a terrible job selling this. Terrible job selling this to people. Likewise, the Strait has reopened selectively. Yeah, sure. Yeah, for Asia. Sorry, I'm trying to find this. Strait opens, Iran, oil. Fuck off. Dozens of ships head through Strait of Hormuz after U.S.-Iran deal. At least 172 vessels have crossed through the strait since the U.S. and Iran signed a deal aiming at ending the war, including 42 ships on Saturday alone. So a lot of these were just ships leaving that had been stuck there for a while. Not tankers that have been holding oil or like waiting to fulfill a contract, but rather just empty tankers that have been stuck behind the strait for months now. So a lot of them are just empty ships leaving. However, about, I think, 13 or so million barrels of oil left over the past couple of days, mostly from Iranian ships. because they have been filling up and waiting for the strait to reopen. And now that the U.S. blockade is gone, they can travel over to Asia. So Iran's about to make a fuck ton of money in addition to all the money we're going to give them. At least 30 tankers have departed from the Gulf laden with Iranian oil and petrochemicals since the deal was agreed. Every ship that goes through has to be approved by the Iranians. This will ease the crisis a little, right? A little bit. Keep in mind, we're only in a 60-day memorandum period that is conditional to Israel leaving Lebanon, which they are not fucking doing. And Iran right now is only really letting its own ships or empty ships through. It's not like a bunch of tankers are going to go in there and resume their regular oil contracts. It might draw things out a little bit, but, you know, this is worse than it being closed. This will make it a forever war. In a way, you're not wrong. Genuinely, yeah. Because now we've reached a kind of like halting middle position now where it kind of seems like progress is being made, but in reality, the progress that is being made is not actually capable of fixing the underlying problem or really forestalling or preventing the collapse. So, yeah, I don't know. Even that's not that much. No, it's not. It's really, truly not. Does this still lead to oil collapse? That's still the path that we're currently headed on, yes. Our reserves continue to dwindle. I don't know if I've seen any like recent calculations on this. Global petroleum reserves. Let me see if I can find anything from the past week. Yeah, commercial inventories have been heavily drawn down. National inventories have been heavily drawn down. Strategic petroleum reserves at less than half capacity. More than 1 billion barrels of oil have gone missing. It's kind of like tracking COVID deaths by looking at excess mortality, rather than trying to figure out every individual person who has died to COVID. You just see how many extra people have died in a year and try to math it out. See how many of those might have been from COVID, because you can't, do an autopsy on every person who dies. Likewise, in total, we are missing out on just over 1 billion barrels, which is a lot. 1.15 billion barrels of oil supply lost. Why is oil missing? It's the amount we lost by the Strait being closed, by the Iran war. And this number is still going up. Even if the Strait reopened today, the number would still be lower. Like it's going to take years and years and years to go back to the previous level of production from the Strait. Ooh, here's Cushing, Oklahoma. Didn't Trump say it was 4 weeks till empty? What Trump was probably paraphrasing was that it would be 4 weeks until we would start to see significant supply failures in the, like friction points in the global supply, which is true. And we're still on that timeline. Like that hasn't changed. Not enough Strait is moving out of the, sorry, not enough oil is moving out of the Strait to change that. Not yet, at least. No, we'll see how it goes. So we're still mega boned. Stop asking that. I feel like I get that question like 20 times a stream. You have to pay attention and assess the situation from my words.